This is Factor One, mission. But we can't talk about mission without talking about vision, which is where we're going, and our values as well. It's no accident that this is the first factor. In our experience, when you put together vision, mission, and values, these things reside in your brain, and silently, they will guide your decision-making as you go forward through the rest of the factors. In many of your lessons, we're going to talk about something called the fatal flaw. These are things that I've observed in working with small business people around the world that if they don't fix them, they can cause irreparable damage to their businesses. As it relates to this factor, mission, the fatal flaw is secrecy. It's where the founders or the owners will move forward without sharing what their vision is, what their mission is, and what their values are with their employees. It leaves the employees guessing, where are we going? Having your people guessing costs money. In this lesson, you're going to get a clear understanding of the vision, mission, and values. You're going to understand how to develop them and how being clear on your vision, mission, and values will improve your decision-making. There's a saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Think about the vision, mission, and values as a journey down a road. At the end is the vision. It's what you hope to achieve. It's very, very positive, and it makes you feel good just to think about it. Along the way on that road, there's some signposts, some landmarks, some things that you have to pass that let you know you're on your way to the vision. These are called the mission. You hit one, changes, you hit the next one. The values, these are your beliefs. It starts with the founders. These things never change. They're like your navigation system. It tells you whether to turn left or right. Because in doing business, there are just certain things you're not willing to do because you don't believe in them. Your vision. Think about the future, 10, 15, 20 years from now. What are people going to say? Are they going to talk about the great products that you offered? Oh, I bought that tool from her 20 years ago and it still works. Her business was fantastic. Are they going to talk about your people? Every time I walked into that place of business, I was treated so great. The service was legendary. Are they going to talk about your family and how your family supported the business and your family's healthy and happy? It's a wonderful vision. Are they going to talk about the support that you gave to the Little League team or to the soccer team in the area? These things all sound good to me, which doesn't really matter. What matters is what sounds good to you. Different from what I've read about vision, I think there's something unique about small businesses, which is some people start a small business because they want to. Some start a small business like I did because I had to. There's a difference. This personal need fuels the business vision. First, you get started, you're going to take care of yourself and your family. And as you get some success, this personal need translates into a business need to actually grow and do more for you and for the people that work for you. Just because you're a small business doesn't mean you can't have a big vision. At some point, you want to write it down. I think 4 to 5 sentences is fine, but that's up to you. The mission. Unlike the vision, the mission changes because it's a series of measurable milestones, things we're going to achieve, and once we achieve them, we change them. These things will be met because they must be met. And I would think about the next 12 months. Some people have 5-year missions. In small business, to me, that's a fantasy. Think about the next 12 months. You have no idea what's going to happen after that. But what I do know is good work leads to more good work. Your values, these start with you. What is it that you believe in? As other people come to join your company, they start to say, these are our values. That's when it's working. That's when it's good. These are the things we believe in. In terms of writing them down, sometimes it's a little difficult. I'd suggest you think about people that you're attracted to, people that you've worked with. What was it about them that you think, based on their beliefs, created a great environment to do work? Was it their can-do attitude? I'd call that optimism. Was it their sense of self-responsibility, which is when there was a problem, they didn't look at who to blame, they moved right to how to solve the problem? Maybe call that solution-oriented. Was it just a sense that they had, a belief that helping others was a good thing to do? I call that teamwork. If you think about that company, does that sound good? If so, you'd be happy there. Using an example of how you do the vision, mission, and values. Let's say I start a coffee shop. I'm running the coffee shop, things are going pretty well, but I've never run a coffee shop before, I've never run a business before. Somebody told me something about the 8 factors. I went online, signed up, and this guy in the first lesson talked about vision, mission, and values. So I got started. My vision. I want everybody within a 5-mile radius of the coffee shop to wake up in the morning and immediately be thinking about how to get to my coffee shop. I know it's a crazy thought, but that's what I want. They're not thinking about it just to get a great cup of coffee, because there are a lot of places to get a great cup of coffee. They're thinking about it because something happens to them when they come into the coffee shop. They would have a busy day. They had to get by the pharmacy. They had to get their kids off to school. Maybe they had to make sure that they got to work and got an assignment done, but they'd scroll through their smartphone or their calendar and say, ooh, I can get there at 2 o'clock. Sounds bold, sounds crazy. Not some people, everybody's gonna do that. That's my vision. My mission. What are the things that are gonna need to happen to make sure a vision like that can become real? First of all, people have to know about the coffee shop. So there's something I have to do in terms of marketing. And I need to be in business when they get here. So I have to make sure that I'm financially sustainable. And the environment's very important to me. I believe that, and I want people to know that I believe it. So there's something I have to do around environmental sustainability. So what measurable things can I do to make sure I know that I'm on the path to achieving my vision? First, when I survey people within a 5-mile radius, I hope to find that half of them know about my coffee shop, and that 20% of them are gonna say, I've been there. And day to day, I'm gonna keep track of how many people come into the coffee shop. I need 100 people a day, spending an average of $4. In terms of the environment, I wanna make sure that every 3 months, if I take a snapshot of my non-compostable waste, it decreases 10%. I've got to do things for the environment. This is my mission statement. I know what it is, and everybody who works for me is gonna know what it is. Values. We value comfort. We want this to be a place, when you leave your home or work, that you really wanna come to. When you walk into our coffee shop, you're not gonna see some modern chair design that's very painful to sit on. You're gonna find a chair that's comfortable. When you sit in it, you're just gonna exhale and relax. We also value calm, a sense of calmness. You're gonna feel that in the colors, the lighting, the way we talk to you, the music that we play, and in the art that we display. The environment is another value. It's gonna be clear to you that we care about it, not because we say it, but because we're reusing everything. We're wasting nothing. In terms of the elderly, we believe, because I believe, that when people come in that are elderly, we're gonna treat them like they're our mother and father. That's just what I believe in, and I'm writing it down so other people understand that too. We believe in hard work, and we believe in health and happiness of all of the customers that come into our coffee shop. So how does having this clarity in the coffee shop help you with your decision making? Well, it helps our employees know how to make decisions when they're faced with something that maybe wasn't clearly described to them as we talk to them about how to do the work. So here's an example. You've got a great employee, you put her behind the cash register, and she's working. And you're hearing that cha-ching. It's a great sound. You smile every time you hear it. There's a long line outside the door because your coffee shop is great. All of a sudden, an elderly couple approaches this employee, and they ask, where's the restroom? The employee notices they're kind of frail. Well, what does the employee do? Well, if the employee looks at the long line, and if they're thinking strictly financially, they're gonna say, down the hall, turn left, to the right, there's a coffee can with a key on it. We'll see you when you get back. That's one way they can handle it. But because of our values, that we treat the elderly like they're our mother and our father, they've got a few choices. That's not one of them. They're gonna either walk the couple back, because we value that more than we value just taking in as many customers as we can. They're gonna find someone else who's working to walk the couple back to the bathroom. Let's take another one with the coffee shop. Someone gets sick. We have a feeling, what if it's food poisoning? Then someone else gets sick. What do we do? What would you do? Well, you can start writing down exactly what people are eating. Oh, he had a ham sandwich, take it off the menu. Oh, she had a turkey sandwich, take it off the menu. and kind of go through the day playing Russian roulette with our food and our customers. Or because you've got this value, you shut it down. Got to close. I'm sorry, we're not exactly sure what's happening, but we're going to close because we want to make sure everybody's going to be okay. Johnson & Johnson in 1982 faced a situation 10 times worse than that. 6 people in Chicago used the Tylenol product and died. They didn't know why, they didn't know how. What should they do? They met in their boardroom, talked about it, looked at the financial analysis, realized if they took Tylenol off the shelves, they were going to lose $400 million in a day, and perhaps their company would never, ever recover. They looked at their values. The values say we will do no harm to the people that we serve. And they decided to make a values-based decision. Well, it was very tough. They did lose a lot of money. They lost 90% of their market share. But it certainly came back, and boy, did it come back. It's one of the most valuable companies in the world now. That was the first pharmaceutical recall. That recall has led to other recalls which have saved thousands of lives. Sounds like an easy decision now, this notion of a recall. It didn't exist at the time. Having a clear vision, mission, and values helps your people. It'll help you make tough decisions and help them as well. It'll also give you something else to compete with besides price. You can compete with your values, the way it feels to come and do business with you. In my experience, personally, it's easy to lead with your values when money's flowing, when everything's good. It's not tough to do the right thing at all. The toughest moment is when profitability's down, cash is tight. That's the defining moment for you as a leader. I found in my experience, you follow your values. There'll be a tough time, but then the business will come back and thrive because all the people who work for you will be more attracted and committed to your business. Customers will be more committed and attracted to you as well. So I ask, what's your vision? What's your mission? What are your values? And do your people know? I'm sure after this lesson they will. We'll see you on the network.